Hello, everyone that is joining. Feel free to find the chat box down at the bottom and pop a hello and let us know where you're tuning in from. Hello, Kim. Fairfield, Nebraska. Hi, Stacy. Hi, Marcella. All right. Well, I'm sure more people will hop on as we go, but I'm just going to go ahead and get started so I don't take too much of Abby's time. Today's topic is how to start selling in Amazon stores, and this is a two-part Amazon series. So there is a second part that will be on February 15th, and that is up for registration. So if you haven't registered yet, feel free to go over to grownebraska.org and get registered. So let's go ahead and get started. As always, a huge thank you to Center for Rural Affairs for being a partner of Grow Nebraska and also being a sponsor. As I always say, without our presenters, our registrants, our Grow Nebraska members, and our sponsors, none of this would be possible. And then another huge thank you to our sponsor, Nebraska Rural Electric Association. We actually just did a feature in their magazine about market tech, so that was awesome. And then our featured member for this month is True North Technologies, and they have been a member since 2020. And then this week's presenter is Abby, and she is an Amazon expert. So if you have any burning questions about Amazon, be sure to pop them in the chat or the Q&A section, and she will answer them at the end. So I will go ahead and pass it over to you, Abby.
Thank you. Thank you, Zoe. Sorry, it took me a minute to get off of mute. Let me go ahead and share my screen. And as I'm doing that, I'll just introduce myself real briefly. So my name's Abby. I manage our small business partnerships and education team here at Amazon. And I've been at the company just over 5 years now, and I've been working with small businesses my entire time. And I taught myself how to sell in the store when I first joined the company, and I find it a really fun topic because it's always changing and always growing. So I'm looking forward to today's event. This is our first collaboration with any organization in Nebraska, so I'm super excited about that. And then before I joined Amazon, I worked at Intel Corporation, and I'm a retired Navy chief. So I don't know if there's any veterans in the virtual audience, but I always like to give a shout out to any veterans as well. With that, we have a lot of content today, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Like Zoe mentioned, if you do have questions as we progress through this content, feel free to pop them in the chat, and then we'll try to get to all your questions at the very end. So here's a quick look at our agenda today. We're going to talk about why should you sell in Amazon store? It may not be a fit for everyone, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about what to sell and when, how to get started selling in the store, how to list your products. We always get a lot of questions around listing products. Then we're going to talk about how to deliver products. We'll then dive into some growth opportunities, and then I'm going to share some additional resources at the very end that we have at Amazon for small businesses. So with that, we'll just go ahead and dive right in. So let's first talk about why you should sell an Amazon store. I really wish this was a in-person event because I always ask people, how many people shop on Amazon or how many people are a Prime member? But most people shop on Amazon at some point or another. We have a saying at Amazon, kind of our mantra, so to say, that customers are always going to value the widest selection, low prices, and fast, convenient delivery, which is what Amazon provides. So when you sell an Amazon store, you're going to be giving your customers that same benefit. You're going to give them share your product with them. You're going to offer it at a competitive price. And then if you're enrolled in FBA, or even if you're not enrolled in FBA, which we'll talk about later in the presentation, you'll be able to give them that fast, convenient delivery that people have come to expect from Amazon. Because we love our data at Amazon, on Amazon.com, there are hundreds of millions, we probably stopped counting, honestly, of worldwide active customer accounts. I'm going to talk a little bit too about Amazon Business. If there's any folks here who could be selling to other businesses, on Amazon Business, we have over 6 million worldwide active customer accounts. And through Amazon's, you can reach customers in more than 30 countries. We will talk a little bit about that as well if you're looking to scale globally or you're interested in scaling globally. Now, here is a snapshot of our global marketplaces. Our largest marketplaces outside of the US are UK and Germany, and then followed by Japan in Asia Pacific. So here's just a quick look if you are looking to sell to other geographies of where Amazon marketplaces exist. And not many people know this, but in 2023, actually, sorry, I think this is 2022 data. I forget that the year just changed. This is 2022 data, but we will be updating it in the next couple of months. More than 60% of sales in Amazon store came from independent sellers, and most of those independent sellers are small and medium-sized businesses. A lot of people are surprised when they hear this statistic because they just assume that if you're buying a product in Amazon store, it could be coming from a large retailer. But no, it's definitely coming from a small and medium-sized business. And I know, having spoken to Zoe before, that there's a lot of product-based businesses that she works with in Nebraska that are already selling an Amazon store, which we will talk about that as well. So what does that mean for independent sellers? So again, this is 2022 data. In 2022, independent sellers in our US store sold more than 4.1 billion products, and they averaged more than 230,000 in sales. Now, I am going to give you this data for Nebraska because I think the data for Nebraska is pretty compelling. In Nebraska in 2022, the average annual sales per independent seller was more than $595,000. So I don't know what you all are doing in Nebraska, but you're doing something right here. And in Nebraska, there were more than 1,500 independent sellers selling an Amazon store. So definitely has been lucrative for folks in Nebraska. Now we will talk about what to sell in the store and when. I'm hopefully folks who are attending today are product-based businesses. I imagine you are, but definitely if you're looking to sell in Amazon store, you probably want a product and you want a product that is easy to package and ship. I always use an example. I worked with a small business last year who sold bathtubs on Amazon store, which I thought was pretty different and unique. But a bathtub is probably not the best fit for Amazon store, maybe Home Depot or something of that nature. And their bathtub was a pretty high price point. I think it was like $700, $800. So if you're looking to sell an Amazon store, you want a product that's easy to package and ship, like the images you see here on the screen. You do want a product that has branding potential, and we will talk a little bit about that as well. And again, to my earlier point, you want a product that's going to be affordable for customers. So I would say you probably don't want to sell an $800 bathtub. Maybe you want to sell $80, $100 headphones or dog toys that are like $10 to $20, just as an example. And then you want a product that has a long shelf life. Don't get too concerned about the long use of the word long here. What we're really trying to communicate is you're probably not going to want to sell refrigerated products, grocery products that are going to expire within a week or things of that nature. Okay, so let's talk about timing. I can't emphasize enough, working with small businesses, these past 5 years is their timing is really critical to your success in Amazon store. So we will talk a little bit about that when I get to the importance of trademarking as well. But let's talk about the timing here. So when you're ready to sell an Amazon store, you do want to have a product that's ready to ship and you understand who your target customer is, because we're also going to talk a little bit about discoverability and advertising. We all know that Amazon is a huge marketplace. It's very hard to sometimes be able to identify or set yourself apart as a product. So it's very important that you understand who your target customer is. And then you also want to make sure that your inventory and supply chain are in place because you're ready to get discovered by a larger audience and hopefully gain and acquire new customers. So that is critical because again, you want to make sure that you're able to replenish your inventory and maintain your inventory. So you never want to run out of stock. And we'll talk a little bit about that when I get to the fulfillment section of this presentation. All right, let's talk about how to get started. So before you decide to create an account or before you decide to start selling, you do want to decide on a selling plan. We have two selling plans. The individual plan, which you see here on the left side of the screen, is going to be 99 cents a sale. So if you sell something, you pay 99 cents. Now, we always use this 40 items a month as a general guideline, but this is for folks who are probably just starting to sell in the store. You don't want to, I always use books as an example. Let's say you sell a book in the store. People are probably not going to buy a book every single day. So you don't want to have to pay for the professional plan. To contrast the individual at 99 cents a sale, we have the professional plan, which is $39.99 a month. So it's more of like a subscription, I guess you could say. Now, it's important to note that you can switch these plans at any time. You don't have to, have a minimum commitment to either plan. You can start off with the individual, switch to the professional, and vice versa. I do want to call out with the professional selling plan. You do get access to a lot more reporting and you are eligible for a lot more programs, which we will discuss as well. And with a professional selling plan, you can sell in the US, Canada, and Mexico. Okay, so let's say you decided on which selling plan is for you. You will then create your account. To my earlier point about people who are selling B2B, so you're selling your product to another business, you would create your account on business.amazon.com. That is the image you see here on the left. If you're selling your product direct to consumer, you would create your account on sell.amazon.com, which is the image you see here on the right. The one thing I do want to call out for Amazon Business, which I think is a really cool benefit, if you create a product page on Amazon Business, that product page will live on both Amazon Business and Amazon.com. So you are able to sell that product through both websites. Really cool thing I just want to call out there. And I want to make people aware that Amazon Business exists. Believe it or not, a lot of people don't know that Amazon Business is probably a better fit if you're selling to other businesses, like I mentioned. Okay, so what you'll need to set up your account is you'll need a bank account number and a bank routing number. You will need a chargeable credit card. You'll need a government issued national ID, tax information, and a phone number. So pretty straightforward what you need to set up your account. Once you've created your account, you will want to get to know Seller Central. Seller Central is really your home base for running your business with Amazon. Everything you need is going to be in Seller Central. You can keep track of your inventory. You can create and update your product listings. You can download all the millions and millions of business reports that are available there because Amazon's going to provide you so much data. It's fantastic, honestly. And then you'll use different tools to monitor your performance. In another presentation, we do talk a little bit more about that. You'll also, this is very important to note, be able to contact selling partner support. There are people definitely who may have some questions or maybe their product listing gets turned off. They will need to contact selling partner support and you will need to open up a help ticket with them. The one thing I always call out is when working with small businesses over the years and sellers in our store, I typically hear that the best way to get help from someone in selling partner support is once you've opened up that ticket, there's an option to either email or call and to always use the call option, because it's easy for emails to get lost. So definitely, if you have the option to call, definitely call. And of course, you'll want to keep track of your daily sales. So all of that is within Seller Central. All right, let's talk about listing products. Okay, so a lot of people get confused too, between what a product ID and what a SKU is. So I'll break that down for you. But what you'll need to list your product is you will need a product ID. So let's say you're selling something that's already a product that Amazon's likely going to have that product or ID already available. So it's basically something like a UPC, an ISBN, or an EAN. And I know those are a lot of acronyms, but hopefully everyone here is familiar with what a UPC is at least. But it's a global trade item number. And Amazon uses these product IDs to identify the exact item that you're selling, to my earlier point. And if you match a listing, you won't need to provide a product ID since it already exists. If you're adding a product that's new to Amazon, let's say you're a brand owner, that you own this product, this is only you sell this product, it's not already being sold on Amazon, you will need to purchase a UPC code or request an exemption. So just keep that in mind. So once you have your product ID, you will also need a SKU. A SKU is obviously unique to each retailer, helps you with things like inventory management, for example. You will need a product title. We will get into a little bit more detail on this as well. You will need a product description and bullet points, images, search terms, and relevant keywords. The thing I want to call out with the keywords is you can use as many keywords as you like to help people identify your product. There is no limit. So you can use as many keywords as you like. They're not visible on your product page. They're only visible on the back end, so you don't need to worry about that. But definitely leverage your keywords. So to add your product, it's pretty straightforward. You will click those three horizontal bars that you see up on the very top left, and you will click your the Add a Product tab within Seller Central. What we have highlighted here in the kind of orangish color is if you're a brand owner and like I mentioned, and your product is not already being sold in Amazon store, you'll just need to click on the link that says I'm adding a product that's not sold on Amazon. So it's a little bit more, a little different if you're a brand owner and you're selling something new to Amazon. Okay, from there, you are going to create your product listing. You will need a clear title, high quality multiple images. So usually 6 images are a good number to have, or you can do 5 images and 1 video. We do see a lot of people really react positively to videos. And you do want them, like I mentioned, high res. So the guidance we always give is 500 by 500 pixel or 1000 by 1000 pixel. And then you'll need accurate, detailed product descriptions. Might be a little hard to see on your screen, but yeah, you can always look at the search results for the product you're trying to sell, see what populates first in the search results. And like I said, you can kind of copy a little bit for what other people are doing. So there's nothing wrong with doing that either. And once you do that, you will create your product listing title and you will capitalize this slide is probably one of my favorite slides in the entire presentation. You will capitalize the first letter of each word. So the image you see here on the screen kind of tells you everything that you need to know. You'll capitalize the first letter of every word. You won't use all caps because it looks like you're shouting. Use numerals instead of typing out the number, just use the numeral. Keep it to 50 characters. I worked with a small business owner and their product listing was so long, I couldn't tell what it is they were trying to sell. So you do want to keep it pretty short and sweet. Do not use special characters like the one you see here on the screen. You do not need to include the price because that's already going to be there on your product detail page. And then you do not need to include any promotional or subjective commentary. That is a no-no. So don't say this is the best teddy bear ever. You definitely want to keep that language out of your product listing title. Now, this is a really cool new feature that everybody keeps talking about artificial intelligence, or AI as we like to call it. Amazon has an AI tool within Seller Central. I know that all of that may seem overwhelming to you, but we recently launched an AI tool that will help write engaging and effective product listings in Amazon. So it's available within Seller Central, like I mentioned. You only need to provide a brief description of the product in a few words or sentences, kind of like the example you see here in the image. And then Amazon's going to generate some high quality content for you to review for your product listing. So just keep that in mind. AI is definitely becoming more and more common, but this is available for you to use within Seller Central. Now, we will talk about creating a brand store. This is another way to advertise as well if you're a brand owner, but I like to make people aware that brand stores exist. So this image kind of tells you everything you need to know on what a brand store is. What it is, it's basically an all-in-one shopping destination on Amazon. So let's say you sell multiple products under your brand. You will have your own brand store, and people will be able to find all of your products on one page. And on the brand store, you can also showcase who you are as a business, tell a little bit more about your story. You can have curated shopping collections, videos. It's just a great way to promote your brand and to just make people aware of your brand. So this is probably one of my more I lean towards this one being one of my favorite brand stores because it's just clean and simple, and I really enjoy it. Um, Now, I talked a little bit earlier about timing being critical to your success selling in the store. One thing I've learned in the hundreds, if not thousands, of small businesses I've talked to over the years is many are not aware that they really need to be trademarked before they sell in the store. Many people just start selling in the store without a trademark. And if you're a brand owner and this is your IP, your intellectual property, you want to protect that before selling an Amazon store. So please don't start selling in the store if you're not trademarked yet. And if you have an active trademark, you can enroll in brand registry. This is a free program that Amazon has where they will actively protect your brand and allow you to create a brand store, which is what you just saw on the previous slide. So if you do have an active trademark, you can enroll in brand registry. And let's say you don't have an active trademark yet, we have our IP Accelerator, which is one of my favorite programs that Amazon has. This is all pre-negotiated rates with trusted IP law firms within Amazon's network. So I believe that all of the prices too are on their website, by the way. I think filing a trademark is $700. Don't quote me on that, but the last time I looked, it was $700 to file a trademark. Now, what's really cool about the IP Accelerator is you can sell in the store, an Amazon store, and protect your brand while you have only a pending trademark. So it allows you to sell in the store a little bit earlier. You don't have to wait for the trademark to be active. It only has to be pending. So that's just a unique benefit that the program provides. All right, let's talk about delivering products. So we have two primary fulfillment options, technically a third, which you'll see shortly. Our two primary fulfillment options are fulfillment by Amazon, which is what you see here on the left, and I will get into a little bit more detail on what that is. We call it FBA. We also have fulfillment by merchant, which is what you see here on the right, which is also known as FBM, because we love our acronyms at Amazon, kind of like the military. Those are the two primary fulfillment options that we offer. Now, I always like to tell people that you can do a cost comparison between the two. There is an FBA revenue calculator that you can use. All you have to do is also within Seller Central. You can just Google it anyone can access the FBA revenue calculator, and it's very detailed. And you can type in your product dimensions, your price point, and it's going to give you an estimate of what it costs to fulfill through Amazon compared to fulfilling through a merchant such as USPS or UPS. So just keep that in mind as a helpful resource. We have technically a third way to fulfill now. It is seller fulfilled Prime. This program was first launched when I came to the company. Took it away and then they brought it back. So it's good that you guys are able to have this as an option again. So this allows you to sell products domestically here in the US and get the Prime badge, which is very important, directly from your warehouse. So you can ship from your warehouse and still get the Prime badge. You don't have to use fulfillment by Amazon if you don't want to. There is a trial period to meet requirements because, as you can imagine, to get the Prime badge, you have to be able to ship everything within 1 to 2 days, which isn't always easy, right? So there is a trial period to see if you're able to ship 99% of your orders on time. That is high, 99% of your orders on time. And you must have an order cancellation rate that's less than 0.5%. So if you meet those requirements, then you're automatically enrolled into the program and you get the Prime badge. Now, the best products for this program, I always use the pot pie as an example. I met a small business who was selling in the store, and she sold frozen pot pies, which I thought was pretty interesting. And she was actually doing pretty well, but she shipped all of these pot pies herself because, to my earlier point, you can't really sell refrigerated products and use fulfillment by Amazon. So she shipped all of these pot pies herself. She had a merchant do it, she had a third party do it, and she was doing a really successful. She had a really good sales volume. Now, um, that's a really good example of a good candidate for this program to get the Prime badge. So that's one example, which is something that could require special handling or preparation. Another product that's good for this program, things that have seasonal, unpredictable demand, items that have variations, and slow moving goods. So those would be ideal products for seller fulfilled Prime. Okay, let's talk a little bit about fulfillment by Amazon, or as we like to call FBA. FBA. I know I'm speaking for myself here. If we were in a room together, I would definitely ask everyone who here is a Prime member. I personally love my 1 to 2 day shipping. I know that I'm going to get it in 1 to 2 days. So typically, if you're selling in the store and you enroll in FBA, you will see on average a 20 to 25% increase in sales after adopting the program because most people they want that 1 to 2 day shipping. The cool thing about FBA is there's only one step in the process that you really have to do, and that's shipping the products to the fulfillment center. Once you ship the products to Amazon's fulfillment center, from there, Amazon does everything else. They pick, pack, and ship your orders. They even handle your customer service and your returns. And then, of course, you're going to get that Prime badge, which is super critical. Now, if you're a small business looking to scale and grow rapidly, adopting FBA is really going to save you time. So just keep that in mind as well. And we always get questions on what is the cost of FBA compared to UPS or FedEx or things of that nature. We will say on average, FBA is 70% less expensive per unit than any other fulfillment services. So it is very cost competitive, and you can also, again, like I mentioned, use the FBA revenue calculator to do a cost comparison. Okay, so another program that was recently launched in 2022 is Buy with Prime. I always like to make people aware of this because let's say you're not ready yet to enroll in FBA or you're not ready yet to sell an Amazon store. Well, we have Buy with Prime. So Buy with Prime is, let's say you have your own Shopify website or any website where you sell your product through your website. You can enroll in Buy with Prime. and people will be able to get the benefit of the 1 to 2 day shipping by clicking on your website, and there's a little buy with Prime button. So let's say I go onto your website. I already have a Prime membership. I would just use my Prime account to be able to buy your product. And then you also people can see product reviews, which I think is super important. I'm a big fan of product reviews myself. So with Buy with Prime, you're giving people that Prime benefit of fast free delivery. And what this program does too, it also helps increase your conversion. On average, we've seen a 25% increase in conversion. And we're going to talk about eligibility here on the next slide. The eligibility is pretty straightforward for this program. Right now, this program is only available in the US, so you must be a US-based entity. Like I mentioned, you must have your own website where you market and sell your product. And then you must have a professional Seller Central account. That goes back to my earlier point about some programs are available to you once you've decided to enroll in the professional selling plan. Or you can set up multi-channel fulfillment. We won't get into too much detail on that in this presentation. We have other presentations where we do get into a lot more detail on that. But what multi-channel fulfillment essentially is it allows you to fulfill all your orders from various sites and sources. Let's say you have an Instagram or a Facebook, or you're selling your product on your website. A multi-channel fulfillment allows you to leverage your inventory in FBA, and you can fulfill all your orders through just FBA. Now, you also need an Amazon Pay account, but you can set that up when you register for the program. Okay, let's talk about some growth opportunities. We always get a ton of questions on advertising and product reviews, so this is probably one of the most helpful sections of the presentation. I want to make everyone aware, if you are a brand owner, again, I want to emphasize brand owner, that Amazon Vine exists. We have seen with product reviews, with your first product review, you can increase your sales by 3.5 times. Product reviews are super important in helping you increase your sales and build that trust among customers. So what this program does is you're a brand owner, you can enroll in this program. You can get up to as many as 30 customer reviews for your product if you're eligible for the program. And Vine reviews have been shown to boost sales by up to 30%. So I will say that when you do enroll in the program, you do offer the product to the Vine Voices. We call them the Vine Voices. It's basically Amazon has a network of their most trusted product reviewers that participate in this program. You would just offer your product at no cost to them, and then they would leave you a review. The eligibility criteria here, I do want to call that out to enroll in Vine. You must be enrolled in Amazon Brand Registry within 6 months of selling. So let's say you have a trademark, you just created your account, you'll automatically be eligible for Vine. And then you must enroll in Amazon Vine within 90 days of becoming a brand owner. So again, it goes back to my earlier point about timing being critical to your success here. Let's talk about advertising. So we have a few advertising solutions, and advertising has obviously become almost a necessity at this point. The first one I want to talk about is sponsored products. So if you're reselling a product that you don't own the trademark to, you can sponsor it. And if you're a brand owner, you can sponsor your product as well. So this is available to both resellers and brand owners. What it does is it improves the visibility of your product and its cost per click. So you only pay for what people click on. And it allows your product to appear in shopping results and search pages. So let's say I always use the teddy bear. You're going to see a pretty consistent teddy bear theme here. You're typing in teddy bear, what people are going to see in the search results. Anything that's sponsored is what they'll see first in the search results. So again, it just improves the visibility of those products. Now, one cool thing that is available to brands, which I think if you're a brand owner, you can sponsor your brand store. You can sponsor your brand and you can also sponsor your product. So you have a little bit more options as a brand owner in how you advertise. What you see here on the screen, this image kind of tells you everything you need to know. Again, this boosts brand awareness. So let's say I type in teddy bear on Amazon, what's going to populate at the very top of the page is the brand, the sponsored brand, which you see here. And of course, you have to be able to show products that are going to be the exact same as what's typed in the search bar. So for example, if I sell teddy bears and umbrellas, I can't put the umbrella in that banner. It has to be just teddy bears. But it allows people to see at the very top of the page what that sponsored brand is. And from there, you can see the sponsored products. So it's just a great way to boost brand awareness. You can also feature custom headlines, images, and videos, which people really like to interact with videos. So another cool benefit. Now we also have Amazon Live. I feel like I'm a little too old for this personally, but a lot of people like to live stream. They like to watch video content. And what this program does, or what this feature does, is it allows you to live stream so you can connect with customers to increase your product and brand visibility. And once you've live streamed, believe it or not, this is pretty successful for a lot of people. That live stream will appear on your product's detail page. So if I go to your product detail page and I see that you've live streamed, I can watch those videos on demand. And we have seen that customers who watch these videos are 3.6 times more likely to convert than non-viewing customers. I will call out right now, this is only available on iOS. It's not available on Android. I just want to call that out. And many people also don't know that we have the small business badge. This small business badge, if you meet the Gartner definition of what a small and medium-sized business is, which a lot of businesses do, don't quote me on the exact number, but I believe it's a certain number of employees, certain amount of revenue. This badge is automatically going to be given to you. You can also choose to opt out of the badge if you don't want the badge. But what this does, it allows people to discover products in the Amazon store that are that come from a small business. This is available, of course, for US-based small business brands. And like I mentioned, it helps people find small businesses throughout Amazon's store. And one website that I always like to call out is amazon.com/support small. A lot of people don't know that that URL even exists. You just go to amazon.com/support small, and you'll be able to see storefronts for women-owned businesses, veteran-owned businesses, businesses local to your geographic location, and it allows you to just identify different products from various small businesses. It's a really cool benefit to Amazon.com. Now, we recently launched just this past Prime Day, so just this past year, 2023. One of my favorite new features is the small business search filter. Again, to the teddy bears. Let's say I type in teddy bear, but I only want to buy that teddy bear from a small business. I will just click on the left-hand side of the page under business type. I will just click small business. And what's going to populate in search results is all of the teddy bears that are made by a small business. So it's really a cool feature to help you, again, identify products that come from small businesses. All right, now I'm going to share some additional resources that we have for small businesses because I want to make sure that I leave enough time for any Q&A. We have Amazon Handmade. I feel like talking to Zoe, she showed me a couple products that I feel like would be a good candidate for Amazon Handmade. I always like to make people aware of this program because most people don't seem to know it exists. But this is kind of like our artisan community of sellers. So let's say you hand make a product or you hand alter a product, you can easily sell in Amazon Handmade. It is an application-based program to make sure that obviously this is a handmade or a hand altered product. One of the benefits of this program, if you're approved, is it does waive that $39.99 professional selling fee. You do get a dedicated storefront to showcase all of your products, which is super important as well. And then you only pay the 15% referral fee. So it's kind of like our version of Etsy. I hate to say Etsy, but of course, that's what people know these days. But you're still giving people the benefit too of 1 to 2 days shipping as well. I honestly bought some Christmas presents just this past Christmas on Amazon Handmade and absolutely loved it. So next, we will talk about our Amazon Small Business Academy. We recently relaunched this. I can't keep track of the time anymore, but I believe it was early last year or the year before. We've been working on this for quite some time. This was initially launched in 2019, but then because of COVID, we had to shutter the program, and then we relaunched it, I think, just over a year or so ago. This is a free digital resource, educational resource that Amazon has for small businesses. I will call out that the educational content on ASBA, we call it ASBA, is not specific to Amazon. It's designed to help you from a more agnostic point of view. So let's say you want to learn more about, identifying capital for your business or creating a business plan or a marketing strategy. This is what this resource provides. It allows you to watch webinars on demand or join them live where you can engage in some Q&A with subject matter experts. And then our team works very, very closely with the Collegiate Entrepreneur Organization. They're a nonprofit of hundreds of faculty who teach entrepreneurship to be able to provide you this content. So all of this can be found on smallbusiness.amazon. I do want to emphasize it's smallbusiness.amazon. It's not smallbusiness.amazon.com because, believe it or not, even I was getting confused there. So it's just smallbusiness.amazon. One of the programs we have under the Amazon Small Business Academy is Founders Table. This is a quarterly event series. You can watch all of them on demand as well. They're basically, and I also host them, which makes it a little fun as well. But what I do is I'll interview a business expert and we'll pick a topic. It could be finding access to capital, for example. I'll interview that business expert. We'll interview a local small business. We rotate these to different geographic locations. And then we'll have a Ask Me Anything where anyone in the audience can ask the panel any type of question they want. So it is a really fun event. Definitely recommend watching them on smallbusiness.amazon. Another resource we have on Amazon Small Business Academy is our This is Small Business podcast. I think season 4 is actually launching this year. It's been around for quite a couple of years at this point. It's a pretty successful podcast, and it is basically what we do. Again, not specific to Amazon. But different small businesses are interviewed and they share their tips and tricks, what worked for them in finding success, how they overcome different obstacles, and it's meant to be more interactive and engaging and inspirational. So again, definitely recommend checking it out on smallbusiness.amazon. Now we kind of went into a pretty high level overview of how to sell in the store, but if you're really looking to dive deeper into specific topics, and you probably will, once you start selling in the store, you'll have Seller University available to you. You'll also have seller forums available to you where you can connect with other sellers and ask questions and get help. Seller University, our team, we actually participate in these webinars as well. They're super valuable. They're available within Seller Central under the Learn tab. And you can, participate. Let's say you want to learn about fulfillment by Amazon. It's mostly Q&A driven. So you get to connect in the webinar with people who are subject matter experts on that specific program. And it's a great way to get the help you need and to learn more about the program. Now, if you're not yet selling in the store, Seller University has a YouTube page. You just go to YouTube and type in Amazon Seller University, and you can watch short videos that are topic driven. So, for example, advertising or product listings, it'll all be topic driven, and it's available to anyone. Anyone can access the YouTube page. And then we also have our Black Business Accelerator program. This has been around for a couple of years now, but it was a $150 million investment that Amazon made on behalf of Black-owned businesses, product-based Black-owned businesses, to help build and provide growth opportunities. So the qualification for the program is you must have a professional selling account. You must have a physical product ready to promote and sell. And you must have a minority-owned business certification. Now, the certification, Amazon does partner with Supplier Gateway. So if you don't have a certification, Amazon does partner with Supplier Gateway to help get you certified for the program. Through the program, you can receive business coaching and support. You can leverage marketing and advertising support, get different business guidance and promotional support. And it's just a great program and resource that we have for Black-owned businesses. So I think we're almost at the very end. So here's just a quick snapshot of some of our partners. We work with quite a few nonprofits primarily to be able to provide educational opportunities such as today's webinar. We work with the Institute for Veterans and Military Families. We work with small business development centers. We work with SCORE. Actually, that needs to be updated. We've expanded our partnership with SCORE this year. We will be providing webinars across 4 US regions with SCORE this year. And then we also have a digital tool library available within the Small Business Digital Alliance website, which is run by the Small Business Administration. So that's just a quick snapshot of some of the partners that we work with. Before we dive into Q&A, or while we're going to dive into Q&A, I would greatly appreciate if you could scan this QR code for me. We are always looking for your feedback. We want to make sure that this content helps you, where we can improve this content, and really just looking for your thoughts here. This is our, like I mentioned, this is our very first event in Nebraska. We're typically in pretty urban locations. We're trying to expand to more rural locations as well. So I would greatly appreciate any feedback you will have for today's session. And with that, I think we can go ahead and dive into some Q&A. Zoe, did you want to moderate the Q&A, or how do you want to handle that?
Yeah, I can moderate it. Let me open my tab here. I'm gonna start in the chat first. Actually, I'll start in the Q&A here quick. Okay, so I know Jenna, I think her question was answered, but I'm still just gonna say it out loud. Would you recommend getting a trademark before selling internationally?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
I'm always going to emphasize the trademark for sure.
Yeah. And she also asked, you mentioned a few times the timing is important for selling on Amazon. Can you expand on this?
Yeah, I kind of discussed that in my presentation. It goes back to my point of the reason I bring up the importance of trademarking is I worked with a military spouse in my first year at Amazon. She was on Shark Tank, and she got funded by one of the sharks, and she started selling her product right after the episode aired. She started selling her product on Amazon, but she wasn't trademarked yet. And because she wasn't trademarked yet, they were duplicating her product and selling it under the exact same name in less than 24 hours. So, yes, timing is critical. I know a lot of people, they just want to get on Amazon and they want to see if they can make as much money as they can as quickly as they can. But you do want to make sure that number one, you have that trademark protection. Timing too goes back to your supply chain being established. So let's say you already are trademarked, but you don't really have an established supply chain, or it takes 2 weeks to perhaps replenish an order. You just want to make sure that you have that supply chain, healthy, operating at a pretty good pace where you can estimate how long it takes to replenish orders, because you never want to go out of stock either, right? So those are just 2 critical examples of why timing is important.
Awesome. And then we had another question. Are you also familiar with Amazon's print on demand? If so, how does that work?
Yeah, we do have a separate presentation. Zoe, can you remind me? We have another webinar coming up, and I believe we're going to talk about publishing on demand and selling books in that webinar. But that is Kindle Direct Publishing, but I do believe we have a second webinar coming up where we're going to get into all about that program.
Okay, perfect. And this next question was actually from me. Um, uh, so when you no longer sell a specific product, is it best to delete the Amazon listing or leave it just as an active? Like, does this help with indexing if we keep it inactive? Like, does that help people still find us when they're searching things? Or would it just be like if we're not selling it anymore, we just delete the listing completely? Hopefully that makes.
So you're no longer selling the product on Amazon.
Yeah, like we don't carry the item anymore. Do we delete the listing or do we keep it inactive to like help continue with indexing, I guess?
I guess it depends on if you're planning to sell the product again and how much changes you would have in your product listing. Sometimes it's easier to honestly just delete the listing and create a new one.
Start from scratch. Okay, that's good to know. Uh, Jenna said, I'm watching this on my phone and I can't scan it. Can you send the link for review? Yes, I do have the link for the QR code, so I can include that in our recording send out. So people that are watching the recording can also just have the link. Okay, another QR code is not working.
QR
Okay.
code's not working. Oh no, let me
Ye-
check it out. Let's see if it
Yeah, I
works.
think mine scanned on my camera. I got the link.
Oh,
So
you
for
got the
those
link.
of you it might not be working for, I can include the link in the email that I will send out with the recording, so that way you can go ahead and give her some feedback.
Yeah, I could have sworn it was just working for me, but that's helpful to know. Honestly, we normally do these surveys in Zoom. So that was a miss on our end. We'll make sure that we incorporate a survey in Zoom next time.
Okay. Kim asked, we just started selling through Amazon in November, and I have sold quite a few of our product. One thing I have noticed though is that Amazon is taking $11.99 for every product we sell, which is $79.95. We fulfill ourselves. Why is Amazon taking such a huge percentage?
We can't provide account specific support, unfortunately, but let me just do the math here real quick. Yeah, that's a 15% referral fee. That's on average. That is typically what you'll see is a 15% referral fee, no matter where you sell. Like let's say you sell at Walmart, it's usually it's industry average. So that is the commission that Amazon's going to take for every sale that you have, which is about 15%.
Okay, and then someone asked, how do you start to work with Supplier Gateway for assistance with minority business owner certification?
Okay, if you go to sell.amazon.com /BBA, there is a link on the page that will help get you started with Supplier Gateway for your certification. So definitely recommend going to that website or just Amazon Black Business Accelerator. There is a link on the page for you to be able to start that process. It's from my understanding, because I came from our supplier diversity team as well. It's very easy and straightforward to get that certification. Oh, to Kim's question, the 99 cents is for your individual selling plan, not your professional selling plan. So the selling plan fee is going to be separate from the commission. You're going to pay for a selling plan, and then you're going to pay for whatever there's going to be a commission every time you make a sale. So just keep that in mind.
Okay. She said, okay. And then Patricia said, hi, Abby, very informative. I have a seller account, quote unquote, homemade. Lots of problems with it. I can't post a price, stars, etc. I'm trademark pending, will be on the blocks in March, so need assistance.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, like I mentioned, we can provide account specific support. I'm guessing from your question, you have an Amazon handmade account. Correct me if I'm wrong. Trademark pending, that may be part of your issue. If you're, for example, trying to enroll in brand registry, you won't get approved for that program with a pending trademark. You'll only get approved approved for that program once that is a active trademark. So just keep that in mind as well.
Okay, and then we have, hello, does my LLC business name need to match exactly on Amazon, like
No,
store name?
no.
Okay, she said. How much extra does Amazon charge to do FBA or FBM account?
Yeah, of course, that's all going to be, there's so many variables with that. It depends on the product, everything, the product dimensions, storage fees, things like that. So my recommendation is for you to use that FBA revenue calculator, like I mentioned. And once you enter in all that information, it should give you a cost estimate of how much it would cost you to enroll in FBA. For FBM, obviously that's going to vary by whatever merchant you decide to leverage. For example, UPS versus FedEx versus USPS.
Okay. Jenna asked, does the LLC need to be exact trademark? She
Um,
said, I have pending trademark Love You Candle and candles, and my business name is Love You Candle Company. Is that going to be an issue?
I can't, I can't say for the trademark. I think that's all going to just depends on whoever's handling the trademark for her. They should be able to see if that's going to be an issue or not.
What is the tax that is added to some of our orders in certain states? Don't know if you can answer that.
Probably not, because tax is also going to vary from state to state.
Okay, any other questions for Abby before we wrap today's webinar up? Jenna said, thank you.
Yeah, hopefully everyone found this valuable. Hopefully you completed the survey. We are coming back. I forget when, Zoe, but we're coming back to do a second webinar.
Yeah.
So just keep an eye out for that as well. And definitely check out, I know there's a lot of links in this presentation, so we're happy to share it as a PDF if that would be helpful. Just let us know. But yeah, hopefully you found some value in this.
And someone asked, where do we register for part 2? So I will be getting into that here on my wrap-up slideshow. But it's just grownebraska.org, and then we have a little upcoming trainings tab that you can click, and there you'll see the next Amazon one will be February 15th, and that is up for registration. So I'll just go ahead and actually pop my slideshow up here quick. A lot of value today. All right. Well, thanks, Abby, for taking time out of your day to present today. We hope you all got a lot of great takeaways. I know I myself did. And to those of you watching the recording, we missed you live, but we're glad you're watching it at your own time. If you have any questions, you can contact me at zoe@grownebraska.org, or as always, you can give our store a call and any of our Grow team members would be happy to help you. Like I said, these are our upcoming trainings. They're all super awesome, so I highly recommend that you get registered for these. So next Thursday, January 25th, that will be with Don Mackey, who's actually a Grow Nebraska board member, and he's going to cover the Nebraska Small Business Assistant Act opportunity, which is a grant. So he'll go through, how you qualify for the NSBAA. So that is up for registration right now. And then on February 7th with Maria Elena Duran, the Google expert, she will discuss how to launch your business with customer-focused marketing. And then, as I mentioned, February 15th, we'll have Abby back again, which is awesome. And she's going to cover how to build a business with Amazon. And you can scan this QR code. If it's not working, these links will be in the recording send out as well. So don't freak out. You'll get the links in the email. So feel free to scan the QR code or just await the link to come. And then feel free to leave the Grow Nebraska Google review. Let us know how you're liking our services and what we have done to help grow your business. And also, if you just liked Abby's webinar, feel free to leave a review about her there as well. And then save the date for Market Tech Conference 2024. So the time is almost near, it is next month. And we do have some more information on our Market Tech Conference website about speakers and some topics that will be discussed that day. And we're also hoping we can maybe get Abby to come next year if possible. So let us know how you liked Abby and maybe we can make that happen. Just be on the lookout on our social media for more announcements to be let out, and also just go to markettechconference.com to get registered. It's a day full of connecting, learning, and it's just fun. I've been the past 3 years and I have loved it every year, and I'm actually presenting myself at Market Tech. So if you want to see me live and in stereo, you can find me at Market Tech. So that is all my announcements. I just wanted to make sure there's
Yeah, I was gonna say, Zoe, if you could send more information on that event to me, that would be great
yeah.
since I feel like it's gonna be here before you know it.
Yeah, I
So,
most definitely will. And Jenna, there's not a dress code for Market Tech. I myself wear, no whole jeans. So, but of course I wouldn't show up in sweatpants. So just, business casual outfit will do. But yeah, if you have any questions about Market Tech, about Abby's presentation or getting registered for the next part, just feel free to reach out to me and I'd be happy to help you. But thanks again, Abby, and thanks to everyone for tuning in today.
thank you, Zoe, and thank you, everyone. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.